France, the spark of civil unrest in Europe. As foreseen for years, it is once again the French who rise first. The nation that gave the world the storming of the Bastille, the Revolution of 1789, the Commune of 1871, and the uprisings of 1968 is today on the verge of a new rupture. France has always been the barometer of Europe's social unrest, the furnace where revolutions are forged, and if Emmanuel Macron refuses to relinquish power, the nation may descend into chaos and civil war. Macron's popularity has collapsed to near single digits, hovering around 10%. This places him in the same category as Keir Starmer in the United Kingdom, another leader propped up despite profound rejection by the people. Neither man governs through popular legitimacy, but through authoritarian reflexes dressed in democratic costume. They cling to office not because the public desires their leadership, but because the financial networks behind them demand continuity. Across the Atlantic, Donald Trump, though hailed as an outsider, mirrors this same phenomenon. Politics reduced to a stage-managed performance, directed by hidden financiers rather than shaped by genuine democracy. Macron is the archetype of this new breed of politician, a perfect opportunist molded by the Rothschilds to protect their interests. His ascent to the presidency was not the victory of ideas or merit, but the execution of a cold, calculated strategy. Stronger contenders like François Fillon were struck down by carefully timed scandals, while Marine Le Pen was strategically discredited with relentless media campaigns. These were not accidents, but surgical eliminations. What unfolded in France was not a democratic process, but the careful engineering of power, ensuring that only candidates loyal to the financial aristocracy could rise. The historical irony is striking. The French Revolution once shattered the power of the old nobility, yet today France is ruled by a new nobility, the financial elite. Where dukes and counts once sat, bankers and industrial dynasties now reign. The Rothschilds, heirs to centuries of financial empire, stand as the invisible monarchs of Europe, choosing leaders as kings once did. Macron is not a leader of the people. He is their prefect, imposed upon them to administer the interests of his patrons. But this phenomenon is not confined to France. It stretches across the continent. Starmer in London, Merz in Berlin, Ursula von der Leyen in Brussels, and Stoltenberg in NATO all share the same pedigree. They are not representatives of nations, but managers of a system. They are not chosen by the people, but selected by committees of financiers, lobbyists, and global institutions that operate above the law. Each of them is generously rewarded for obedience, while the citizens they claim to represent are left with inflation, insecurity, and the erosion of sovereignty. The risk is clear. France may soon ignite the fire that spreads through Europe. The disillusioned masses, forced to endure leaders they never truly elected, are reaching their breaking point. Just as bread shortages and aristocratic arrogance sparked the French Revolution, today's shortages, austerity, and elite arrogance may unleash a comparable fury. And once the streets of France burn, the flames will leap across borders, to Britain, Germany, Belgium, and beyond. History teaches us that when France revolts, Europe trembles. From the Revolution of 1789 to the uprisings of 1848, from the Commune of 1871 to the barricades of 1968, France has always been the detonator. Macron, Starmer, Merz, von der Leyen, and Stoltenberg may believe they are secure, shielded by institutions and backed by financiers. But history also teaches us that no throne, however gilded, and no puppet, however well-paid, can resist the tide of a people who have nothing left to lose. France may once again be the spark that lights the powder keg of Europe. And when it does, the carefully constructed façade of elite control may collapse in a storm as fierce as the one that toppled the Bastille.